you know how we talk about, well, it's like the clearer I am, the more truth you'll hear. And I think that's the case for everybody, right? Like it's the clearer they are within oneself, the more they're being honest and true and loving themselves, the more connected they are, then the more unconditional love is flowing through them and to them because it's coming from them, out of them, but it's also the connection to the universal flow of the highest and greatest of all, like the highest vibration, like all this stuff. So it's like you've heard me say, like if I say something genius, right, like it's truth and clarity, whatever, it's not me so much as it's like I've done my inner work to clear my vessel to be an open channel, right? To be, it's like that oracle, right? Because everybody is. That's all of us are, I think, really. I think all of us are just vessels, channels, oracles. All of us are. It's just, again, and we're all being utilized all the time, right? Whether you realize it or not. And so, you can, it's like choose your team, right? Or choose how it feels, or choose, for you based on loving yourself. So it's like doing your internal cleanup. So you're clear within oneself. And, oh God, I just don't know how to verbalize what they're showing me. Like, I feel like I need to explain that so it makes sense. But at the same time, I don't know how to say what. So like they keep showing me, like sometimes I've had old conversations like that'll pop up, right? Like right now I'm sitting here and they reminded me of this conversation I had with this person who in that conversation dropped so many gems where they were like hints, they were clues, they were foreshadowing. It was like telling me without telling me. But the way it was done and the way it was said, one could think like, oh my God, he knew, right? Or he was trying to forewarn me without telling me, right? Like, in other words, one can get tripped up in one's own mind. That can be the case sometimes, but a lot of times I don't believe that is the case. In other words, how can I say this clearer? In other words, it's like that person was there with pure intentions to visit me and we were having a nice time. So there was pure intentions of a nice visit. There was no ulterior motive, right? This kind of thing. And so he was able to be utilized as a channel, an oracle, a vessel to share information with me that I needed to hear, right? And so because he, the human, was not necessarily conscious of that dynamic that was playing out, it wasn't like he specifically could have blatantly told me, quote, the answer, because he, the human, wasn't even aware he was being used as that vessel or channel at that time. Does that make more sense, maybe? And so, but oftentimes I think we get tripped up with that. So, in other words, if I kept going back to that same person, hoping that he would forever be my oracle, right? Or my whatever, then one, it would probably freak him out because he'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? And, but then he becomes muddled and confused and then wouldn't even be a channel. It's like, it's this idea of like, we can't associate everything always with the person. It's like, it hurts us. I don't know how to say that better. I feel like I say it well when I say, if you hear me saying something genius or truth, it's unconditional love coming through. It's not Karin. It's not me. I don't want, it's like they get upset with me because it's like, it's not that I don't want to take ownership. It's not that. I'm trying to do my own part and it's like, I'm always trying to do my own cleanup work. And so I'm proud of myself for doing that. And it is hard for me at times. So I appreciate myself for doing that for myself, for loving myself and doing that hard work and loving myself enough to do that work and to keep doing that work. But it's also the awareness that it's because of that work that more truth and clarity can flow through me. And I want to be clear on that for people for their own sake, because I know I do that. I know I mishinge. I mishinge that understanding, right? It's that it's such a weird thing to say or like clarify or verbalize. It's like, I think it's understood how I'm saying, I hope, and yet I don't know. It's like when you see people who, they call themselves healers or whatever, like, I don't know, all that stuff. I think some are and I think some aren't. And I think sometimes some are and sometimes they aren't. Meaning it just depends on, I guess, the day, I suppose, or how much of their own work they're doing. Or if it's kind of like, how do I say that? I had said to a doctor one time, "Oh my God, thank your wife." And he laughed. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Because, it's like if things aren't well at home, then he wouldn't be well with me, right? It's like we want everybody to be happy in all aspects of their life, because anytime there's a bump in the road, they might have been fabulous for us. But if there's a bump in the road at home or a bump in the road before they arrive, you're not going to get the best of them. And then you're screwed, right? It's like they're not able to show up and do their job. They're not able to show up and do the healing work, right? Because they're not clear vessels. They're preoccupied with other things, because we're all just human and we're all just vessels. And so, it's not the human that's necessarily doing the healing. It's like we can do our own healing by unlocking within and loving ourselves and cleaning it up and understanding and up-leveling and always working on ourselves. And then in doing so, we can, quote, heal others, but because it's not us that's necessarily healing others. It's we are then opening ourselves up for that healing to flow out of us. It's like such a hard thing to verbalize, but the way they show it, the way I understand it, the way I feel it, the way I know it, and not, who knows, maybe I'm wrong, right? But it's just how I understand it, feel it, know it. Like, I am well aware that I'm not doing anything. No, that's not true. I'm doing my part, and my part can only be to love me and heal me and be a better me each day. And the more I do that, it's like you do get like those, it's kind of like the idea of bonuses or perks. It's like the more you're unlocking unconditional love within yourself to flood you more, and the more it floods you, the more it overflows to others. And so it's like that idea of that truth and clarity, but yet one can confuse one, like, self, their like bodysuit, their image, their person, their being, their 3D, as what is flowing through them, their energy. And it's like, don't be deceived by your eyes and ears. It's something all around this that they forever show, which helps me, but then I don't know if my verbalization of it can help others. Anyway, they kept showing this one conversation, and they even had me write some of it down, because it was like they kept highlighting certain, it was like responses or phrases or things he had said to me, and then had me write down, like, okay, what does that actually mean? What did that equate to? And whether that person, because here's what it was like whether that person realized it or not, they were giving me that truth and clarity I needed to hear. Like, at one person, he said, well, everyone wants so-and-so. And then they had me write down, that means he's for the streets. Like, it's like, it was like a way to like tell me without telling me. But again, I don't think that person was like intentionally like planting ill seeds or like stating like any of that. It was like all these things, like all these like little things that were highlighted. And this conversation was, it had to been at least a year ago, but I think 2 years ago. Yeah, I think it was probably 2 years ago. So like that's a long time for them to all of a sudden be plucking forward this. And I think it's just able, so I think maybe it's because it's far enough away that it's able to highlight now this understanding, because I think I did jump to, when they had me start doing this, I did jump to my first conclusion or mishinge was this, he was not the ticket, but like this idea of like, oh my God, he knew so much, and he did, but it's irrelevant whether he was aware or not of what he was actually telling me, the truth he was actually showing me. It's more that I can take from it more truth of he was coming with pure intentions and he was a clear vessel and I heard what I needed to hear, which is also, you can say that. Like I say that to the universe often when I'm speaking with them. Let me hear what it is I need to hear. And I say it that way because there's times where it's stuff that I don't want to hear. It's not like ideal, but it's what I need to hear, right? And so sometimes it takes a long time to reach me. Maybe that's the other reason they were showing this. Sometimes it can be conversations from so long ago where it might not have reached you until now, right? 2 years later, it smacks you. And sometimes that's the way it is. It's like we're catching up to it, but then we're already behind because, so much has happened in between. I don't want you to get muddled in that. I don't think that was the point of this conversation. I think the point of more of what they wanted me to get on and talk about was more of this idea that we are all vessels. We are all oracles. We're all forecasters. We're all fortune tellers. We're all storytellers. We're all, we're all these things. And it's really whatever you choose and feels good. But that the whole point is it's like you get to choose the more cleanup work you do. The more clear you are within you, the more you can hear and see that truth. So it's worth doing that if that feels good for you. I say if that feels good for you because I was just going to say, well, doesn't everybody want to fucking do that? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, some people don't, and there's a million reasons. Irrelevant. It's like you just have to decide for yourself. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.